Aslında kılıcı çekip arkaya dönüp bunları vurmaya çalışsam ne olur? Ulan aşağı düştüm be. Başkalarına bakarken. Neyse. Neyse. Dayıyı takip edelim. Derken gerek kalmadı zaten. Çıktı. Lan çık. Geliyorlar iyi işler. Lan beni bir salın. Tankları çalısına da şeyine de tüküreceğim şimdi ha. Allah Allah.
Ya.
Kaç oğlum kaç. Arkandan geliyorlar. Bunu kesin gebertiler ha. Ya harbiden çok merak ettim şu an. Kılıcı çekip bunları vurmaya çalışsam ne olur acaba? Devirirler lan beni. Canım azıcık kalmış zaten. Neyse gerek yok. O kadar aksiyon yani. Zaten aksiyon var yeterince. Ne? Ya konuştukları dil bana hiç Türkçe gibi gelmiyor ama neyse. Zırhlar güzel hocam.
Oh my God! Wait! Jesus Christ!
Help! Skeleton's been attacked! Do something! Help!
Quickly, everyone! Get your asses here!
Hey! And loose! Haku! Huzun gine!
O az önceki Sevahi'nin maskesi şeye benziyordu. Şu Uyanış Büyük Selçuklu'daki Hasan Sabbah'ın maskesine benziyor.
Quickly! We're closing the gate!
Kapat kapıyı. Gelmesinler.
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you, and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours. Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that hair out. Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone.
İyi.
It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Thank you.
Bayağı eskisi gibiymiş ya.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work.
Kaybolun lan.
You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage? Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground. But a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Kuttenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
Güzel. Hedef tamamlandı. Sir Robard ile konuşalım bakalım. Şu sandalyeyi az ileri çekeyim mi? Evet, gidip konuşalım.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach. I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith and moved to the countryside to make horses.
Niye itibar kaybettim lan ben?
Ah, milady. You're fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bozhena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the Outer Bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Eyvallah eyvallah.
Good night.
Night, man.
Sonunda bir yemek yiyelim artık be. Adam acıktı.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Hı hı. Şimdi beyler. Biz bu kaleyi soyup soğana çevireceğiz. Kaleye boş girdik, dolu çıkacağız. Sağlam bir zırh setiyle. Sağlam dediğim öyle Robard'ın üstündeki gibi bir şey beklemeyin ama başlangıç için iyi bir setle. Yani çıkacağız buradan. Şimdi alalım şu yemekleri. Mercimek püresi. Hadi mercimek çorbasını anlarım da mercimek püresi nedir ya? Evet. Bence ölüyor. Uykusuzluktan gidecek. Şöyle mercimek çorbasını ye bakalım. Doydun mu? Doymamış. Bunu da ye. Doydun mu? Doymamış. Şöyle. Şimdi doydun mu? Şimdi doymuş. İyi. Bayağı aç bir kardeşimizmiş bu. Onu anlamış olduk.
Jesus. I could really do with some sleep.
Ama bu kadarcık yani. Daha yeni başladım videoya. Şunu böyle bir 2,5-3 saat yapayım, ondan sonra yeter artık ben. Uyuyalım abi. Adamın göz kapakları çöküyor, anasını satayım. Şöyle uyu gitsin. Tabii ama bu olmadı. Event gelmesi gerekiyordu, gelmedi şu an. Şöyle bir 4 saat daha sabır lan sen bana. Heh, tamam, event geldi. 9'da geliyormuş demek. Tamam.
Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
Orada sesim kısık geliyor olabilir. Umarım evdekiler yatıyor. O yüzden kısık sesle konuşuyorum ben de.
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
Lady'nin odaya gelmesini.
I thought you
Buradan bir Türk dizisi
could do
senaryosu
with a
çıkar
little
oraya.
wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
Tabii.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you,
Bu Lady'de bir iş var.
but I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
Hadi konuşalım. Lord'un altını
Might be right,
götürüyoruz dedi.
I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. I went to the tavern to buy ale for Father. I know it's a job for a groom, but I didn't mind, because my girl Bianca worked there. I courted her a while and we agreed to meet in the evening, but our meeting was never to happen.
Oh, dear boy.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzi. Father and I always chat in the forge. On that particular day, I asked him if he'd teach me swordsmanship. He said no. He said it's better for a man to keep his head on his shoulders than lose it over some pointless heroism. If only you'd known what fate had in store for us. But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town.
Ben niye itibar kaybettim ya?
A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
Adam şiir yazdı ya.
Awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz. I looked towards the tavern and saw a group of Cumans chasing down my Bianca, murdering her for sport. There was nothing I could do to help her.
You mustn't blame yourself. She's with the Lord now.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle. I needed a horse to get to the safety of Talmberg and to warn you all.
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuban savages who planned to violate her. I had Seratic's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king, and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone, and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years? And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
Bayağı dertli çıktı.
My lady, you're still young and
Oo, bizimki de yürüyor.
beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep.
Lan yemeği niye götürüyorsun? Niye getirdin, niye götürüyorsun? Allah Allah.
I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Hadi git.
Good night, my lady.
Daha fazla kalsaydı işler kötüleşebilirdi. Yat aşağı yat hadi. Ulan Sir Robert demedi mi çizmelerini çıkar diye, sen niye çizmelerle yatıyorsun? İt herif. Ha gene bir şeyler oluyor. Çekiyor. Bence de korkak olma. Ya öyle bir durumda ne yapılır bilmem ama ben olsam herhalde refleks olarak koşardım ya. Yani muhtemelen nalları dikerdim oraya gidince ama olsun. Yani gene de anama yardım için koşardım. Kim koşmaz ki?
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Allah Allah. Kim geliyor acaba? Geçit merdivenlerinden siperlere git. Gidelim hocam. Koşalım.
But if I have to choose a placement.
Şeylere geldim.
Listen up! If it's Sigismund and his army, prepare for the worst. But don't be daunted by their numbers. Heed my command, all will end well.
Neler oluyor?
What's going on?
Soralım bakalım.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmberg in the night? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it? The scouts Jivis sent to Skalitz to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And so Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers, including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get there. Won't we?
Right, I will.
Farewell.
Halt! Who goes there?
Lucifer and all his minions. Who else, Robert?
Sir Ansig. What a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir. He is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Dimish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzik, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
Thank God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left the storming of the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Tamber?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. It would only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Ratai. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But sir!
Quiet! I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Baldic.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will, and good luck to you and your people too. These are dark times. Move out!
Anywhere, people! Move out! It's only a short way to our day now.
İlginç şeyler oluyor oraya. Siperlere gidip yüzbaşı Robert ile konuşmuşuz. Sir Robert ile konuş. Dur tekrardan. Konuşalım bakalım. Hala oluk. Yardımcı olabilir miyim?
What is it you need?
Muhafızlar nereye gidiyor?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch of the battlements? My men?
Is that a request or an order?
I'd rather it was a request you answered yes to.
Of course I'll help. I have to pay you back somehow after all you've done for me.
Splendid. And don't worry. I'll tell the men to relieve you later. May the Lord watch over you.
Lan tek başıma burada nöbet mi tutacağım? Asker değilim, bir şey değilim. Sıvırım lan ben. Yanımda 2 tane muhafız bırakaydınız abi. Herkes gitti lan. İyi bari ben de bakayım buradan. Sabah kadar geliyorum. Aramızdan tam belli olmuyor ama muhafızda bir şeyler var diyorum. Yukarı sağlamıyordu. Yani bu taraflara böyle geziyorlar. İyi. Burayı tutarız. Benim orada saymazsak şu ana kadar kanalımda çektiğim en iyi grafik.
Wandering around like a stray sheep. Must be your first watch, eh? I don't think anything much will be happening today. You can just lean against the wall.
I will. Thank you.
Basalım ya. Evet, tamamlandı. Bir daha mı? Sabah kadar da bekledik. Ne oluyor ne oluyor? Dış kaydık kaleye gittim. Mahsuzlar gitmiş. Tamam hadi ben gidiyorum sen de gel. Kimse yok ki orada ne yapıyorsun oğlum?
Let's go! Let's go! Move it!
Ulan koskoca kalede 10 tane asker mi var? Ondan biraz fazla. Hadi 25 olsun.
Jesus! We're gonna hit them like skeletons!
See how the self-appointed king wins the love and respect of his loyal subjects.
Indeed, Robard. Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause. You may be in for a surprise, though. I don't think he will set his heathen dogs on us today.
Salacak olsaydı salardı. Adam göndermez.
Lord of Talmberg.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Scarlet and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot! Do you want to end up like them?
I am Sir Markwart von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Markwart. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble. It seems to me, though, that he and his army have somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king, and here in Talmberg divine peace reigned until your arrival. To what then do we owe the honor of your visit?
Yesterday His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, Sir Ratzik Kobila, who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown. Unfortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir, where he might be at this time?
As far as I know, the Sir Radzik of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzik is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less. Or do you take the view that my humble manner is any obstacle to your
konuşmayı biliyor ya. Vallahi biliyor.
Am I to inform the king then that Sir Ratzik Kobila is not at Talmberg and that he has your loyalty?
Sir Radzik Kobila is not here, and I have no intentions of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. As you wish. I will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Those who have clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little cause for joy. Farewell, sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
İyi değiller. Ama defolun gidin buradan. İç soyları sizi.
My lord, you have my utmost admiration.
Get on with you, Robard.
Sonra Marty ile konuşalım bakalım. At bulma işi basit ama önce bize maymuncuk lazım. Kendimize zırh çekmemiz lazım. Yay çekmemiz lazım. İtem çekmemiz lazım. Ondan sonra buradan kaçmamız lazım. Gel buraya.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Aynen.
Why did Sigismund burn down?
That's war for you, lad. Certain lords have resolved to take things into their own hands and eliminate anyone who doesn't share their view. Unfortunately, Sir Radzig is one of those. And what's more, he was sitting on a pile of silver that could help King Wenceslas's allies.
What happened in Kuttenberg?
Gutenberg, well, I'm just a simple soldier, but the good Lord gave me ears, and I've heard some things from Sir Divish and from those who fled from Sigismund's pillaging.
Were there many?
Indeed, but it was the Kuttenberg mercenaries who came to see me, because I knew them from before.
I see.
Listen, lad, these are all games of the high aristocracy. In Prague, a cabal of nobles rebelled against King Wenceslas, wealthy aristocrats who took against our king for reasons of their own. There's no doubt Sigismund had...
So then why do
you think?
So he could loot it?
Correct. King Charles, may God grant him eternal glory, built Prague into a proper royal city, while King Wenceslas took a liking to Kuttenberg. After Prague, it's the most important city in Bohemia, in the entire Holy Roman Empire. He who commands the Kuttenberg silver is king.
So Kuttenberg sided with Wenceslas because he favored it?
Now you're starting to understand. When Sigismund imprisoned Wenceslas and took control of Prague, the people of Kuttenberg began to raise an army against him. So with the attack on Kuttenberg, Sigismund killed two birds with one stone. He defeated Wenceslas's most powerful allies before they could stand against him, and also gained immense wealth.
Tamam, hadi bu konuşma burada bitmiştir. Maymuncuk satan bir tane hıyar olması lazım. Tamam, burada. Yotova.
My respects to you.
Sana da.
Can we trade?
Farewell.
Ne oluyor lan? Param sıfır lan. Ben sizin hiç satmak istemiyorum ya. Bir tane satacağım artık, ne yapayım? Al bakalım. Oha, tanesi 14 lira mı? Çok pahalıymış be. Şöyle anca yeter herhalde. Üstüne bir de 13 lira alacaksam okey. Tamam. Tamam ya. Paketi biraz düşürürsem iyi olur.
Let's die.
Here you are, with a little top up.
Well now, thank you very much.
Ne?